We have 7 hospitals. We have 2 freestanding emergency rooms, and we have 3 outpatient surgery centers that we ship to. And we ship Monday through Friday to those entities. And of course, those continue to grow. I mean, we're looking at additional facilities. So that's always a changing dynamic for us. We ship 1.8 million pieces of product a month. We ship a little more than $8.5 million worth of product a month. And most of our processes are automated.
Okay.
In late 1999, early 2000, HCA created what we called point-of-use technology. And it was designed by a group of nurses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And it was designed to, the old world was, again, someone walking up with a par sheet and saying, okay, you should have 6, you have 2, so I need 4, and then going downstairs and getting 4.
Right.
We created a point-of-use technology which was unique in the fact that, you know, barcode scanning has been in the grocery industry probably most of your life. I mean, it's been around 40 plus years, and they're scanning, you know, reading the product, and you see it everywhere now. I mean, you do self-checkout and everything else. But in healthcare doesn't invest in capital unless it brings revenue. And capturing products doesn't create revenue for them. So HCA, as part of our building of our supply chain, decided we need to capture this better. So instead of having staff going up with a piece of paper and writing down what they need, we created a very simple system where we use a barcode, put a barcode, and of course, the barcode in healthcare, individual products have very few barcodes. And even the ones that do, everyone uses a different barcode technology. We're just now getting to where we can capture all those different barcodes. So we created a process where we have open bins with product in it. You walk into a supply room, and there's a room full of product. You got a bin that's anchored to the wall, and Nurse Jane needs an IV solution or an IV tubing. She picks it up. She has a touch screen that she touches that captures the patient's name. And it's basically laid out to show these are all the beds on a nursing unit. Mm-hmm. There's 23 beds, and here's the 23 beds and the patient's name. You touch it, get a wireless scanner, you scan the barcode that's on the bin, you take the product you want, put the barcode scanner back, and you walk out the door. That captures decrement of inventory, that captures utilization, and in the background, as a secondary thought, if it's a chargeable item, then it charges the patient. Though on a routine nursing floor, most of the stuff that's up there is not a chargeable item. But that's a background function. The primary function is decrement and management of inventory. If, depending on when our facility orders, that same system at 6:30 in the morning, if our hospital in Stone Oak orders on Tuesdays, everything that's been used since our last order, though all those departments, whether it's 5 or 500, send their orders electronically, completely automated, come over to our warehouse management system, and it says, this is what I need for Stone Oak. We download a wave, decrement our inventory, ship product, and we ship it in low units of measure. Whereas in the old world, everything went in bulk to the storeroom at the hospital, and they picked it individually. We pick it individually here. It's shipped by department, by location, into the hospital, and they get there. It shows up in the morning. It's got a packing slip. They take 10 totes, 6 totes, whatever it is, put it on a cart, take it to that nursing unit. They open the one with the packing slip. They go into that same system, scan one barcode, and whatever products were picked, regardless of how many there are, is now uploaded into their inventory. They can order 10. We only ship them 8 for whatever reason. But because we only ship them 8, that barcode tells them, yes, you ordered 10, but we only gave you 8. So those other 2, you need to reorder. And the next time your order drops, those two will be included with anything else that's used between the time of that and the next inventory fill. We currently have a process where we can, and we're actually going to launch this in January of next year at Methodist, where we can actually create a process to read all barcodes. To where instead of reading a barcode that's on a bin full of product, we can read the individual manufacturer barcodes. It's a slow process because you have to first create it. You have to read that company's barcode, and if you have never read it before, you have to build it. But once you build it, it will read it going forward. And because of the size of our organization, if we read it in Florida, once we read it in Florida, now we can read it everywhere. But we're now learning that the clinicians can drive just as much cost, just based on preference. You know, it's something I've learned in my many years in the operating room myself. You know, this particular, you got someone who walks into an operating room, you have a physician, his preference says, this is what I need to do a gallbladder. But you could also have a scrub nurse that says, well, these are all the things I think I need for a gallbladder. That at the end of the day may end up in the trash can. So our next phase of our operation is understanding how do we make everyone understand the impact that they have on the cost to our patient. And it's at the end of the day, it's really not about profit, revenue, or anything else. If we take care of making sure that we are cost effective in everything that we do, the rest will take care of itself. The reimbursement issue, you know, everyone's going to deal with the same reimbursement issues. But if we can run our business as efficiently as possible, maintain the high quality healthcare in a cost-effective manner, the rest will take care of itself. And that's where the supply chain has gone. It's been elevated from kicking boxes to managing cost, understanding analytics, and trying to drive change. We're not FedEx. At the end of the day, we're really not. We're not about shipping Christmas packages. We're not about getting there on time. Our mantra has always been the right product at the right place at the right time for the right price. Those are the things that we live by. And it has elevated our supply chain. Something we're launching right now is clinical analytics.
Okay.
It's the ability, and we just launched this like in the last 2 weeks, it's the ability for us to pull detailed information on every product that's being used by a physician for a surgical procedure.
Great.
And comparing that Dr. Smith to Dr. Jones. To be able to look at Dr. Smith uses $1,100 worth of products to do a gallbladder. Dr. Jones spends $2,400. Does Dr. Jones' patient that he spent $2,400 on get out of the hospital quicker? Have a better outcome? Was there really any value in it? And this is something we're trying to look at because we know insurers are looking at it as well.
Right.
And it's interesting because doctors are now coming to us. I meet with physicians on a regular basis. 7-8 times a month I have meetings with physicians that are, what is my cost compared to my peers? Because bundle payments, the Affordable Care Act, and managed care are all starting to look at, okay, I'm an insurer. Dr. Smith is at $1,100, Dr. Jones is at $2,400. The outcome was the same. They went home in one day. They both had their gallbladder removed. They both had a favorable result afterwards. Why did this one spend more than this one for the same outcome? So if I'm an insurer, I'm going to say, we don't want you to go to Dr. Jones. We want you to go to Dr. Smith. That's the kind of data we're pulling today. And we have physicians lining up for it. They want to see it. And we have invested a huge time data, creating a database that allows us now to draw that data out. Just in the last 2 weeks. In fact, I had a meeting yesterday where we were actually looking at some of the data, the comparable data, and it's amazing. The ability, we can drill down to the individual product that made Dr. Smith more expensive than Dr. Jones, or whatever the case is going to be. That's the vision. That's the long-term vision of healthcare, is us getting smarter about what we're doing. Looking at the waste data from this new data warehouse, we can actually see how much was opened, never used, and thrown in the trash can. That it's opened, it's never used, it's thrown in the trash can, someone's paying for it. And chances are it's us. Guaranteed we're paying for it. Whether we're getting reimbursed for it is a completely different thing.
Right.
So that's the future. I think the future of supply chain is managing, not just using analytics to get product in, but using analytics to define how are we using this product and can we use it better. If I spend too much on supplies, I'm not going to have the money to buy new technology that's going to create better care to our patients. And I have these conversations with physicians and our division leadership on a regular basis. How do you have a set amount of money, and if this much is supposed to go to supplies and this much is going to go to capital, but supplies overran by 10%, capital is going to get less, which means that new MRI, CT scanner, that new oncology wing, whatever it is going to have to wait. Does it wait for a year? Does it just go on the back burner forever? My focus. It's not about reducing cost. It's about making sure that we're doing the right thing for the patient. As a clinician myself, knowing that we're doing the right thing for our patient is extremely important.